course, Andrew would deny all allegations again, and he has done so far and has not pleaded guilty to anything. But I don't think the two things have to be the same for the result of what happens to be the same. So, of course, this is not about paedophilia or any of that. But with Prince Harry, this is about the disrespect to the family, writing books, leveraging the royal name to make money, which is what he promised he wouldn't do. This is about breaking a promise.
Shall I tell you what I think, which I'm sure is right? He has a sort of mental problem, doesn't he?
Well, I think he obviously suffers from things like depression. It's well documented.
And I think that worries them. And I think it will give him a terrible time with Meghan, because this is the only thing that she needs, really, in her road up to the ceiling, and very important. And I think with the children, William apparently is going to get rid of the two children's title as soon as he becomes king, because it's absolutely ridiculous. They don't know anything about the English royal family, and he doesn't want it. So I think that's where there will be absolutely bombs in the family, because it would be very difficult.
Now I don't know what in the royal bitterness that was, but Angela Levin and Nana Akua have officially taken their obsession with Meghan and Harry to Olympic levels. Like, if talking about Meghan paid rent, these two would own Buckingham Palace by now. First of all, how do you go from talking about Prince Andrew to somehow circling right back to Meghan and Harry? It's like a GPS of hate that only has one destination: Sussex Lane, right next to Jealousy Boulevard. Because let's be real, that's what this is. Pure jealousy. Meghan and Harry left the royal soap opera, started their own life, and somehow they're still the main characters in the minds of these people. It's giving, I can't quit you, but I'll pretend I hate you energy. You've got Nana Akua sitting there, pretending to be the voice of reason, but then she starts talking about disrespecting the family and leveraging the royal name for money. Girl, please. The royal name has been leveraged since medieval times. If making money off the crown was a crime, the entire institution would be on trial. Where was all this moral outrage when Camilla was dropping books, or when the royals were cashing in on documentaries and tours and glossy magazines? Oh, right. It's only a problem when Meghan and Harry do it. Because apparently, financial independence is only respectable if it comes with a crown stamp on top. And then Angela Levin, the self-appointed Harry whisperer, who's been wrong about everything since the dawn of Megxit, decides to diagnose Harry with a mental problem. Excuse me, Angela, are you his doctor, his therapist, or just his uninvited stalker? Because the way you speak about him, you'd think you've been camping outside his brain with a clipboard. It's disgusting, honestly. The stigma, the arrogance, the lack of humanity. Angela's whole brand is built on trying to tear down Meghan and Harry to feel relevant. She's written more about Harry than Harry has written about Harry. And yet every word she says just exposes how personally invested she is in their downfall. It's weird. Like Sikh hobbies. And Nana, nodding along like she's hosting the Real Housewives of Royal Resentment. She just sits there and lets Angela talk about Harry's mental problem, as if it's a gossip topic instead of a human issue. These are people who will talk about mental health awareness on Monday, and then shame Harry for therapy on Tuesday. But then, Angela decides to go there. She brings up Archie and Lilibet's titles. Apparently, William, when he becomes king, is going to get rid of their titles because they don't know anything about the royal family. Now, what kind of twisted fantasy world is she living in? Because last I checked, titles are not loyalty points. You don't lose them for moving out of the palace or for having parents who prioritize peace over palace politics. Also, how do the kids not know the royal family? They're babies. What's she expecting a 3-year-old Archie to deliver a speech on the Commonwealth? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My mother's been harassed for 6 years straight, but let me now outline our plan for the monarchy's future. The absurdity is wild. And let's just say it, this obsession with Meghan and Harry's kids is creepy. Full stop. Archie and Lilibet are innocent children, Yet British commentators keep dragging them into adult drama like they're public property. It's deranged. These people have no boundaries, just microphones and bitterness. Angela Levin has literally made a career out of guessing what goes on in Meghan and Harry's lives. She has no access, no insight, no connection, but she talks with the confidence of someone who thinks she's been personally CC'd on their family WhatsApp group. It's like, Angela, sweetie, you don't know these people. You're not a royal insider, you're a royal intruder. And Nana Akua, whew. The irony of her claiming Meghan disrespected the family, when the same family couldn't even show Meghan basic respect. The British media and monarchy happily fed Meghan to the wolves, and now the same wolves are sitting on TV pretending to care about family values. Please. The disrespect was always one-sided. Meghan faced racism, xenophobia, and an international smear campaign, and through it all, she still stayed graceful, dignified, and thriving. Meanwhile, these pundits have aged 5 years for every one of Meghan's smiles. Let's talk about this pattern because it's not new. The British media needs Meghan and Harry. They need villains, scapegoats, storylines. The royal family is basically a reality show without confessionals, so the press fills in the blanks with hate and hysteria. When Meghan's silent, they say she's ghosting the UK. When Meghan speaks, they say she's attention-seeking. When she works, they call it self-promotion. When she disappears, they call it irrelevance. Like, make it make sense. She could cure global warming and they'd still headline it, Meghan Sussex causes confusion as temperatures drop. Royal experts fear it's witchcraft. And the funniest part? The more they attack her, the more they expose their own desperation. Because Meghan doesn't respond. She doesn't clap back. She doesn't go on GB News to yell into a void. She just lives. And nothing makes bitter people angrier than someone they can't get a reaction from. That's why they've turned their attention to the kids, because Meghan and Harry won't play their game. So now they target the only people who can't defend themselves. It's sick. But guess what? Karma's got Wi-Fi, and it never misses. The Sussexes are out here living in California, raising their babies, working with Netflix, Archie, Spotify, and world charities, while these so-called royal experts are in a cold studio, sweating under fluorescent lights, ranting about toddlers. It's embarrassing. Every time Angela Levin says, I know Harry so well, an angel loses its patience, because if she really knew him, she'd know he's moved on. He's not sitting in Montecito thinking about GB News. He's not doom-scrolling Angela's Twitter. He's literally out here building playgrounds, planting trees, and being an actual human being. Meanwhile, Nana, Akua, and Angela are busy trying to outdo each other in who can sound more unhinged. It's like watching a competition of who hates Meghan more, sponsored by tears of jealousy. But here's the real gag, my friends. While the UK media obsesses over titles and tantrums, Meghan and Harry's titles are irrelevant to their impact. They don't need royal approval to make a difference. They already have global respect, recognition, and influence that outshines every palace press release. Archie and Lilibet don't need to be prince or princess. They're already royalty by birthright and love. Because true royalty isn't defined by crowns or crests, it's defined by compassion, integrity, and peace. And that's exactly what Meghan and Harry have built. So Nana and Angela can keep fuming, keep seething, keep shaking their fists at clouds. Because while they're on TV ranting about other people's happiness, Meghan's probably out there baking cookies with her kids, Harry's in his garden, and the world is watching them thrive, title or no title. At this point, Angela Levin needs to retire her expert label and just put professional Meghan watcher in her bio. Because that's what it is, obsession disguised as commentary. In conclusion, Angela and Nana maybe try yoga, maybe touch some grass, maybe stop talking about people who clearly don't think about you. Because this constant fixation is not normal. It's giving X who can't move on. Meghan and Harry have outgrown the toxicity, and no matter how much the British media tries to drag them back into the swamp, they're not going. They've got better things to do, like living freely and laughing all the way to the bank. So let's raise a royal teacup to that, because every time the haters rant, the Sussexes win.